And we are back with round 4 action. So we've got a little bit of a pair down here. So Randall Barber is 3-0, but Kyle Dobinson is 2-1. So we are going to have a interesting game here. We got Kyle Dobinson on Rhinos, and Randall is still on Jeskai Beach, just like last round. We started off really nice. Breeding Pool shocked into Crash and Footfalls.
Yeah, with the inevitability of his first Rhino ticking down on a second turn, always a little bit scary because you know the hand's got to be good if they're doing that turn 1, turn 3 into Shardless Agent. Okay, consider. I like it.
I like considering the fall. Whoa.
Hey, no. So it looks like we had a bit of a game rule violation coming from the Jeskai Breach player. Randall Barber had cast a consider and scried the card to the bottom instead of putting it into the graveyard. Notably, he needs to be putting those cards in the graveyard. So that seems to be the issue that we noticed. And yeah, so we put the card on the bottom. There you go. So it goes into the graveyard. Actively what he actually wants to be doing in this, like he actively wants to be putting these cards in the graveyard, so it is a mess up on his behalf, but a mess up nonetheless. All right, so it looks like we got everything situated. Cards in the graveyard, which is honestly a good thing for him because that's where he wants his cards.
Yeah, he'd rather have his cards in the graveyard more than
on the bottom. Yeah, especially as a breach deck. Like you're just looking for that large amount of spells. Nice, into Ledger Shredder, early pressure, and Shredder, can actively take over a game and apply a lot of pressures to Rhinos. It can trade effectively. Now, if he has too many Rhinos, I mean, too many Rhinos is too many Rhinos. But having an effective blocker that kind of advances your own board state's a good place to be in. And if he had a Mishra's Bubble, would be.
The big thing with Ledger Shredder in this matchup is when they go to Cascade, they cast 2 spells. That triggers Ledger Shredder.
So it's always going to trigger off of a Cascade. Very
well,
nice.
If he doesn't miss the triggers.
Yeah. So funny. That's like the biggest, I would say, discrepancy between like Commander and Modern, even in competitive events. If someone mistriggers, like people are very particular about. No, if it is not a May trigger, it's got to trigger. And I do not believe Ledger Shredders is a May.
So that's not actually how it works in competitive events?
Yeah. Well, sanctioned competitive events, right?
Yeah. Well, in all competitive events, technically. In competitive events, it's up to the opponents. They get to choose whether or not they want the trigger put on the stack.
Okay.
And it would go on the stack at the moment that the trigger's been missed. Like, at the moment, at the point where it is noticed. That's a Shardless Agent.
Okay, Shardless Agent. I was like, man, it looks like a Planeswalker almost. Alright, so we'll find out. Does he trigger? Wow. Well, you get to basically see his entire deck.
We gotta see a lot of his deck, yeah.
Did he trigger?
He did trigger Ledger
Okay,
Shredder.
so it looks like he drew a card, discarding a card. It looks like an Underworld Breach, implying that he probably has another one in hand. All right, 4 Rhinos now, with the loam of
2 Rhinos this turn.
Two Rhinos. Sorry, with the loam of like what, two more coming in next turn.
At 2 turns.
2 turns.
And Kyle's got sick Rhino tokens.
What are those?
They're like Rhinos with guns.
The oh my god! I mean, it's accurate. Certainly trample over whatever the heck you're trying to kill with a Rhino with a gun.
If Randall's able to double spell here and put another counter on the Ledger Shredder would then be a 3/5.
Yep.
So that's a blocker Rhino every day.
Block a Rhino every day, and then on his turn, if he cascades, like sure you get to trade, but man, that's a lot of Rhinos you got to fight through. I wonder what he has in his main board that can kind of help him out here. So Unholy Heats are fantastic. Teferi, obviously fantastic. Endings. Okay, so he actually, his main deck consists of quite a few cards, like quite a few answers. 2 Endings, 3 Heats, two Teferis, and then obviously the Underworld breaches for redundancy if it ever gets to that point and he has enough mana for it to recast.
The big thing is he has to get Delirium for the heats to matter, and right now he's at 2.
Yeah, instant enchantment.
So he got to get those numbers up.
Fetch land into iteration. Yeah, so what are we going to see from this, man? What you got? What you got for us, Randall? What you got? Fetch.
So that's a land. That gets him to 3.
Yep.
So he's getting there.
Oh, shocking.
I'm smelling a Teferi.
Smelling a Teferi. Teferi's huge there. I think of all the answers, one that draws you a card's probably the best. Yeah, looks like you're correct. And also, notably, stops Cascade as well.
It does. It also stops, like, getting suspend. But he will lose this Teferi on his next turn.
Unless he just blocks right now, takes the trade. I think I would be willing to do that to stop the next, like, yeah. Oh, I guess he can't double block. Yeah, no, fair enough. If he has a second Teferi, oh my goodness, I'm freaking out.
That's a really good block for Randall. He puts Kyle in a position where he has to kill this Teferi to get 2 more Rhinos next turn.
Yep.
But if Randall just has the second Teferi, he gets to blow Kyle out of the water.
Yeah, gets rid of his Rhino.
As well as he now has a Planeswalker in the graveyard that puts him at 4 creature types, so that 4 types. So he now is delirious.
Yeah, this is a big turn, but he only runs 2 Teferis, so it's not super likely that he has one. But if he does, he's jamming.
He runs how many Unholy Heats?
He runs 3 Unholy Heats.
That's enough to clear the board.
Yeah, so another fetch land. And a pass. So he's probably holding up maybe like a Spell Pierce here.
A Spell Pierce to make his opponent like sink a little bit more mana into this Rhinos than like normally would have to, so he's not able to Rhinos double Rhinos is pretty nice.
True. Yeah, and watching like Rhinos from the last event, super good deck. It's surprisingly resilient, and it doesn't like you win without Rhinos as well, because I know they run Furies and stuff like that. It's kind of amazing.
This is kind of a big. This is like an important game, because Randall really wanted to be able to just draw this round at 3-0 to double draw in, which he is unable to do because Kyle has a loss already. So if Kyle ends up getting another loss in this event, that might be the event over for him.
Yep. So it looks like, okay, so we got Unholy Heat on the tapped Rhino.
Well, the attacking Rhino.
Oh, the attacking Rhino, sorry. Alright, what's next? What's he got? Thinking about it. Does he just jam? If he has not Shardless Agent, what's the other one that instant speed? Violent Outburst, that's the one. That's a card.
Violent Outbursting on your turn, unless you have 2, is always pretty rough. As well as he doesn't necessarily want Randall to have another Legendary trigger.
True, because it is like with only having 2 and him being in that prime spot to just trigger it himself. I think. Well, he's tapped 2 mana. What is that right there? Is
That's
that another
consider?
Okay.
He did. That's why one of the mana's gone.
Okay.
He's then put a consider on the stack,
Yep.
but he has Ledger Shredder trigger first, which he pitched another Underworld Breach to. He then bins a bauble and draws off the consider. So Randall's cooking over there.
Yeah. So he does have a Ledger Shredder that is able to block, which is kind of nice. Slowly dwindling through the resources of Rhinos. That's the one thing with Rhinos. It's very the density of threats. It's not a whole lot in terms of like cards itself. It's like what, 6 cards that are actual threats. You have your Furies. Oh, but his list is running Murktide. Murtide's a big boy. I like it. Randall's in a pretty good spot, though. He's got himself set up nicely. Okay.
Randall is on 4 breaches, right? Yep.
Yeah, 4 breaches. I know, it is weird to see him kind of, like, throw them into the bin.
Yes and no. Because if it gets down to it, he's getting to the point where he's getting a lot of cards in that graveyard. He has a lot of mana. He only needs to cast, like, 4 bolts to kill Kyle.
Yep.
4 bolts and attack with the Shredder.
Oh, yeah, you see him setting up in 3s here. The classic, how many times can I activate this? Which is always terrifying, I'm sure, especially if you're the opponent.
Which, at this exact moment, the times he can activate it is 3 times.
Yep.
But if he gets 2 more cards in his graveyard, he can activate it 4.
4 times. Does he have the lightning bolt in? Oh, he does have the lightning bolt in graveyard
off the consider mistake earlier.
Yep. Yeah. So he takes the block here. Yeah. So he can't violent outburst to try to like grow his rhinos either.
No, but we might see Randall just like dig a little bit for the heat.
Spin it.
Draw. Is it the 3rd heat? Oh
man. Bolt
up top.
Bolt face. That should be very telling for Kyle now to know. Like,
but that's a Shredder trigger. So
what
that's
was
that
there?
I can't see. There's a
I
glare right
can't
there.
see with the glare.
But now that Ledger Shredder is a 4/6.
Yeah, it's huge. Gets to trade nicely. It's looking like Randall's probably got this locked up. He does still need the breach to win soon, like if he wants to win like next turn. But having a 4/6, being able to deal with the rest of the rhinos, like you're feeling pretty good. I like it.
Kyle could just Fury here though.
And yep, there's the Fury, kills the Shredder. Hard casting the Fury. It's a good one.
Now you're feeling a little bit less good.
Yeah, I'm feeling a lot less good. But again, land into breach.
That's all you need is 4 bolts.
Yep.
But Kyle is he still on Force of Negation? He was for a long time.
It looks like he's using Spell Pierce.
Nope, that's Randall's list.
Oh, sorry. Force of Negation. He's running 4 Force of Negation.
There's a breach in Randall's hand.
We see the breach.
All Randall needs is 1 more mana.
Alright, so it resolves. 1, 2, 3 for the bolts. For the bolts. For the bolts. Land. Wow.
Yeah, so we see Randall play that game actually perfectly to clutch it out with
yeah, he clutched it out, had the right mana, and I like the fact that he held on to his land. Because if he did have, like, obviously, we know now that he didn't have any Force of Negations in hand, but just to be like, okay, if he's looking at the board, seeing the state that we're seeing in the lines, him holding that land is like, this is kind of a desperation attempt, maybe, right? So he feels a little bit better about letting it resolve. But nope, has the land in hand, shocks it, plays it out, 4 bolts to the face. That is every burn player's dream. It's just better burn. This guy breaches just better burn.
No.
No, not actually, but
close.
He's playing it like it's better burn. I like it. Huge fan. Loving the breach.
We see 4 endurances in Kyle's sideboard, so we're gonna see that brought in.
Yep.
Mystical Dispute's like decent here. I also like Blood Moon.
Yeah, Blood Moon. would really hurt that deck.
Because you take Randall completely off white, and I think you take him like mostly off blue. He's only on one island.
Yeah. I'm looking right now. He has one island, one mountain, and it doesn't look like he runs a plane. So I wonder if that mountain should be a plains here.
No.
No?
No.
You want the basic mountain?
Yeah. In case you get like Boseiju locked.
Seiju locked.
Boseiju Ren in 6?
Okay, yeah. But I'm surprised you would choose a mountain over.
You'd rather be able to have access to a red source in case of a Boseiju lock, compared to a white source.
Oh, okay, as like a way to cast lightning bolt in your. Okay, yep, that checks out. Now I am curious. So, if Randall suspects that he's going to be having to fight through, 4 endurances, so he's probably thinking there's a few endurances. I wonder if he kind of moves away from the Underworld Breach pile. He's definitely bringing in an engineered explosives. That card's really good. Does Hollowed Moonlight hit the tokens that come in or no? That I'm curious about, because if it does, I think Hollowed Moonlight's definitely coming in. And then, so in his sideboard, he is running Magus of the Moon. I wonder how he himself fights through it. Is he using Magus of the Moon and then using treasures with Ragavan to kind of like...
Yeah, that's the big way he fights through that. Hollowed Moonlight does deal with creature tokens.
It does deal with... Okay, so
Yeah.
it looks like if I'm him, I'm probably taking in 1 engineered, taking out 2 Hollowed Moonlight. I'm probably going to take out 1 or 2 Underworld Breaches, just because that combo line's not going to be as efficient post board. And what else do I take? That one's tough. On the play, I might take out. On the draw, I might take out 1 Ragavan, and then sideboard him back in. Or Prismatic, something that's a little bit less good on the draw. Definitely, probably taking out 2 Breaches though. You could even take out a land if you wanted to on the draw. It's hard to say. I'm taking out 2 Breaches. The third card's probably a Ragavan. That's my guess.
I think I saw Randall cut bolts.
Bolts? Okay, honestly, yeah, bolts are pretty bad. So I don't know. I guess I don't respect Ragavan enough. I would hate to draw Ragavan into another Ragavan, but he dies so frequently that having the second one's usually pretty good.
That's why most lists run 4.
Yep. Which is wild. It's very rare that, like, in any format to see a 4 of a legendary card. That's how you know the card's good. Selenava with a Scalding Tarn.
That sucks. You got sick there, Tunneling Cat. We would have loved to have you out this weekend.
Oh yeah, no, that does suck. I was sick earlier this week too. I just blamed Jared. So if you need that, you can blame Jared as well. That's what I did.
Yeah, I was sick. I was sick last week. There was some sickness going around down here at Nerds Cafe. Yeah, but now we're all good.
He had the gall to blame it on a baby. Can you believe this guy? It was the baby, I swear.
So, right here we see Kyle get off to a pretty good start, like game 1 as well.
Yep. Where
he just went turn 1 Rhinos.
Yeah, that inevitability kind of lubing over Randall here. Really puts pressure on it. Fetching for a blue-white source, which tells me probably has Consider into Prismatic Ending. That would be my guess.
Or like a Teferi or something?
Yeah, Teferi. But him not fetching a red source and binning a Prismatic Ending kind of says he probably already has one in hand.
He's got a lot going on here.
Yeah, he definitely has a lot. What? What are we thinking here? I would love to see like a Darcy into a Bauble. Dashing a Ragavan.
I don't think he's on. Oh, he is on Darcy.
Yeah, he is. 4 Darcys.
We have not seen a Darcy played from him in the 2 matches
Yeah.
he's played on stream.
No, on the very first one, it got bolted right away. That was it. Very first.
No, that was a Ragavan.
No, it was a Darcy. Yeah, he got it bolted by the guy with the all foil deck. The very first thing, yeah, Jay bolted.
Maybe I'm just going crazy then.
You got the goop now. I gave you the goop. You take it. All right, so just leaving up interaction.
They're both playing ready to interact all game.
Yeah, the classic I want to combo second kind of game. Playing chicken with each other until someone gets out of the lock.
And eventually, Kyle has to be the first to act because he's got the one suspended.
But what's great about it is he doesn't have to invest anything into it. Like, in terms of mana-wise on that turn, he gets to be the first player to threat, which is why I think, like, Kyle is in the position, like, the best position. Just kind of sit back, relax, force Randall to have the interaction, force him to have the answers, because he's already got an answer coming on board that he doesn't have to worry about anymore, and can now invest in his future a lot better.
I'd rather be in Randall's position, though. Like, really? I'm up a game.
Yep.
I'm playing against Rhinos, which Rhinos is probably the best deck at the moment. A lot of people rank it as the best deck, especially the iterations Kyle's on. He's been seen because there's been a lot of innovations. Nathan Stoyer, who is the reigning world champion, just won a modern like 20K with the lists that Kyle is playing, and a lot of people are on the list. Like,
is the biggest change like the Murktide region?
Yeah, I don't think there was like that many Murktides before, but now it's like, if you don't see one with a Murktide, what's happening?
Fair enough. Because, yeah, I noticed this list from last time, it looks like it's a little less on the Fury count, higher on the Murktide count, and I think Mystical Dispute wasn't something we saw on the main board. I don't know if we saw, he's running 3 copies main board.
I don't think we saw 3 main board.
Yeah.
You see him cast a Mystical Dispute targeting a Ragavan.
Oh, wow. That's
pretty brutal right there.
That kind of screams like a desperate Hail Mary attempt.
I wouldn't say like desperation to a degree, but more or less like, hey, that's not normal.
Yeah, maybe from his perspective, he's thinking it's just like the more mana efficient play. It does cost 3 mana, but it is a little wild. I respect it though. Hey man,
you want a mystical?
Yeah, dude. You wanna pay 3 mana to counter a spell? Absolutely. I'm here for it. I'm here for
a monkey. Like if my monkey's eating a dispute, I'm happy. Yeah, it's a good day in the office.
Yeah, that's quite the trade up. That's quite the mana value trade up.
Like, I see Randall has a Flusterstorm in his hand, so he's ready, and he's about to. Is this? I think this is on Kyle's turn.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is an end step play. So we do see the endurances are now in, so he can be playing around that and knows that. Seeing 2 endurances. And he is going to fluster. I do like that. Perfect time to fluster. And then upkeep spell pierce on Kyle's turn. If that happens and he doesn't have the force of negation, which I'm kind of surprised we haven't seen yet, doesn't fight over it.
Well, he can't fight over on a Flusterstorm because he has no
it's
mana.
On his turn too. Well, he's Flusterstorming here. I'm talking about this one that's about to come off the stack on his turn.
that was on Randall's unstep.
Yeah. So
we're gonna see a Hollowed Moonlight.
Oh, let's go.
Oh, that's big.
Oh, and he gets to draw a card.
That's a Mystical Dispute in response, but okay. Kyle has Force of Negation in his hand.
Oh, he does. Oh, dude, that's a big play. That's 4.
2 Rhinos.
4s, dude. That's 2 big boys. 2 big boys.
But we know Randall can piece them off one by one. He's been doing it.
Yeah, he's been actually very consistent. And with how the hand has played out and him bidding a pretty early on
Pending?
Yeah, pending. I'm assuming he probably has one in hand. And
Or he just has like a Teferi.
Yeah, a Teferi into Heat, a Teferi into Ending.
But like, I think a Teferi's worth fighting over from Kyle's side with that Force negation.
Definitely. And I wonder too, maybe if he's had the Teferi, but prioritize like using his current interaction over playing it out. Hard to say.
Yeah, it's a weird one. I don't know.
We'll find out. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, tune in next time. No.
Tune in next time. Well, that looked like a breach off the top there.
Yeah, going breach here isn't too bad. Just to go, I'll pending your thing.
Yeah, ending. And knowing that you saw 2 underworld endurances, sorry.
Ooh, I like just like.
Yep. Oh, into the pending. Beautiful.
With a trigger. Trigger's good. What do we see Randall actually discard here?
Honestly, I think there's a good chance it's just a land because of how far behind he is already. Yeah, and it looks like
I wouldn't really consider Randall behind to any degree here.
I mean behind in terms of like how big his creature is. Like how behind that creature is. Because he gets to put it at to 4 and then
he
it
needs
has to
get
go
it
5.
to 5.
Yeah. And I think he might just be too far behind. He just doesn't want the lands in his hand.
Having a lot of lands in your hand is pretty bad, but because Randall is a breach deck, he's soon going to be able to just like value.
Yeah, just out value.
Yeah.
Interesting iteration. I don't mind.
I like an iteration here.
A value iteration.
It's every iteration's a value iteration.
Yeah, he just doesn't get to play a land off of it from exile.
Yeah, he just doesn't get any value off of Ledger Shredder. Like, if he put a bauble into exile, he could have cast it. Like,
true.
Like, it's not like it's just a dead like play, but it's definitely not a play where I'm like,
it's not like your most ideal play.
Yeah, it's not a play where I'm like, yeah, this was a good play.
All right. Nothing in the end step. It looks like he's thinking about something. Maybe Bolt.
Shardless.
Okay.
Ooh, so we're gonna see 2 more Rhinos.
Wow.
We're gonna see Randall get to draw. Randall's just ripping lands.
Yeah, so he must have way too many lands. That's what feels bad.
But if Randall's able to get this breach on the battlefield and has 3 white mana, he can go pending.
Yeah, that granted that he doesn't have his endurances, and honestly, I think.
But we know Kyle has a force in hand, so as long as Kyle's not able to have Kyle doesn't have a second blue card.
Yeah, like a second Pierce, because he needs to go. If he's gonna go for it, I think like this is his best time to try and go for it. Play it up. He's got the interaction. Like a spell pierce. Only 2 cards in hand.
It looks like Randall is only able to deal 2. Deal with 2.
No, he should be able to deal with 3. If
he's only got. He just fetched a blue source.
Oh, fair enough. Oh, you heard the. It's good.
There's the line where you breach. You counter the pending, but there's 2 pendings, so it's just like, what?
Yeah, I don't, because like he just gets to get a bunch of value, and now you're at the whim of this.
I like what Randall just drew. Randall drew an Ottawara.
Oh my goodness, and he let that one resolve too. I am very surprised this Force of Negation did not hit that breach. I'm super He might not have a blue card in hand.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Oh, okay. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. You want some? yeah, that's why I did. That's why I resolved. Yeah, he doesn't have a blue card. Poor guy.
Like, he has to just not have a blue card. There's a line where Randall just decides to iteration here or just bobbles twice.
I don't hate bobbling twice. That kind of feels
to draw card. 2 cards.
But
the Shredder is a 2/4.
Yep.
Is that also an endurance in Kyle's hand?
Must not have the green card.
Yeah, so that's where I think there was kind of a misplay from Kyle to run out a shardless agent.
Yeah, the Rhino.
No, specifically the shardless. Because it was a blue and it was a green card.
Would have helped him in both instances. Yep.
Yeah.
So it looks like
Randall's just consider.
The consider. I thought he grabbed iteration. My bad.
No. Because you could consider twice and see 4 cards, where if you iteration, you can only see 3 cards.
True, and then consider
You could see
cards back
4
into
cards,
the
plus you'd be able to fill up your graveyard to also bobble.
Yeah. Now, granted, we know that he won't be able to do something like this again next turn, but he does get to keep his graveyard kind of full. Honestly, I don't hate just like ending off on a bobble. Consider and then a bobble.
Yeah. He has to. No, he actually can't. Bobble.
No, yeah.
So
no,
this is the last thing.
He'll be 1 card off.
Yeah. Bends the
heat. Kind of worries. If I'm Kyle, I'm a little
rips a bobble, so now he's able to bobble again.
Wow, this is.
That's a mystical dispute on top.
I kind of love this deck.
The breach deck? Yeah.
I'm kind of loving this. Now, big turn for Kyle, though, because he has tapped out. You can almost assuredly assume he has some form of removal for that Rhino bidding the Unholy Heat. Or he was just doing it for, like, the draw trigger, like to potentially draw more off of bobbles, but can't see him getting rid of an Unholy Heat for that play. Unless he has one in hand.
He has an Ottawara in hand, which is better.
Yeah, fair enough. Ottawara is just better. Uncounterable? Wow.
Not uncounterable.
Well,
but like
for the more like most intents and purposes, like is Stifle a fairly common card in Modern right now?
No.
What about Trickbind?
No.
Okay, good. I'm glad. So you're not a bad
Stifle's
format.
not like Modern legal.
It's not? Wasn't it in the Modern Masters?
You can be Modern Master, not be Modern legal.
That just no, but like
no,
or Modern Horizons, the OG one.
OG Stifle was in Conspiracy.
Oh, okay. Damn. I was thinking of Flusterstorm.
He blocked and then had his Shredder killed with a fire.
With a fire? Yeah. That feels a little bad. Running at 5 life, he had a really big turn. What kind of juice does he have now in his hand?
The juice to kill a Rhino, that's for sure.
Another Shredder. Love it. Into a bobble. Love it.
Discard the monk.
Discard the monkey. Don't hate that.
Randall's just like, oh, you wanna beat me? Oh, I have card advantage. Like,
looks like he's passing, but he is gonna have to. I'm assuming if Kyle doesn't do anything here, he's probably just gonna leave 3 mana up for an endurance, just to have an endurance.
Well, Kyle's down to 12 here. I wonder what he's doing.
Ooh, I wonder if we get to see a Murktide. Oh.
I think a Murktide goes pretty big, but at the same time,
yeah, Fury. Yeah,
that's just better than
cleaner.
Murktide.
Yeah, Fury's just cleaner, way cleaner.
Shredder's dead. Ottawara, your Rhino token, which, aka kill your 2 Rhino token for 4 mana. That's uncounterable.
Right, tapped out. If he has another breach, he probably
we see a DRC.
Hey, oh my god, it exists. Oh, tapping 2 right away. Is this a breach? Nope, another Shredder. Wow, Shredder for days.
Shredder number 3.
Into Darcy, probably.
Into DRC.
Love me a good Darcy. It's probably my favorite card. One of my favorite cards. Absolutely love it.
The card's really fun to play with.
It is just a fun card. Like, that is like the perfect amount of power level and beautifulness. It's not as degenerate as Monkey, but it just plays well. It's got dragon in the name. It's a red card. It can fly. It does stuff with the graveyard. It's a thing that people love.
I really like this generic Regavan deck, or Jeskai Breach, as a lot of people call it.
The generic Regavan
That's
deck?
actually its name on a Goldfish.
Really?
Yeah, it's generic Regavan.
This is like the first iteration of it?
No, this is like the final form.
This is the final form.
But I think
So,
this deck's really sweet.
no unholy heats, no nothing, eh? Just raw dog in the deck. Oh, I guess he's only on 1 card in hand. It looked like he drew blue spells. How many Otawars does he run?
I think he's on 1.
Yeah. What that was.
This round going to time is not like a horrible thing. Puts Gigantha in hand and just a pass.
Wow. Wow. You know you're not in a good spot when you're just slamming a Gigantha.
I don't think you're in a bad spot. The Gigantha blocks the Fury. They trade, but it blocks it.
Yeah.
But Rando might die to like a fire here if Kyle has fire.
Yeah, it's not looking too good for him here.
The first ever modern 2K that we ran for our first ever modern 2K circuit, Kyle Dobinson won a match by fire icing someone twice.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah, Randall just had a ton of lands. So that's game 2, which goes to Dobinson.
Now up to game 3.
They're going on to game 3. Game 3 will probably start at around 12 minutes, so they got 40 minutes to consult their sideboard, shuffle it up, blah, blah, blah. If it results in a tie, Randall doesn't care. But that makes it so Dobinson has to play his next round.
Yeah, it really puts Dobinson in that
between a rock and a hard place.
Yeah, a much tougher position where he's got to win.
Yeah.
Randall's pretty secure at the moment.
But getting in such a hard position as like he will the next, like if he happens to draw this match, like it's brutal.
So Bling on the draw now. Kyle on the draw. I wonder if he's like, what cards he'd be more interested in. Probably less interested in a dispute. And more interested, like I'm assuming, I bet you he goes down 1 dispute and up a Gemstone Caverns.
He was on the draw in game 1, and he still was like, it's tough. I don't know.
Because he already runs 3 main, so if he boarded in a dispute on the play, I think it's safe to just go down 1 and then take your Gemstone Caverns, go up a Gemstone, just to try and accelerate out to like keep at pace with your opponent.
It's tough.
Yeah, it is tough. I think that's what I would do. I don't know if what I would do is the correct thing to do.
I probably wouldn't bring Gemstone Caverns in this matchup.
No.
I already have 2 in my deck. I might if I knew the time on the clock, but our players in the stream room don't know time on clock.
Okay. Fair enough.
Which kind of sucks.
Yep.
But they've got like 10 minutes left, so I was actually wrong. I thought they were going to be shuffled up and ready to go by 12, but they might be ready by 10.
Yeah, we'll find out. Hopefully they're ready. So, yeah, I wonder if I can see what he's grabbing there. Is that a Rhino? He's looking at Rhinos and Furies.
I know Kyle. Sometimes he cuts Rhinos out of his decks. He doesn't think it's definitely not the worst play. So it's one of those, like, you're stuck between a rock and a hard place regardless. So
I feel it's right to cut Mystical Dispute. Just 1 dispute if he boarded in 1. If he didn't board in 1, maybe I'm incorrect on it. Maybe just like a Brazen Borrower. I don't know. If I'm Kyle, I really like Gemstones here. Just being on the play, I think that's why you have the Gemstones, right? Is for being on the draw. Being on the draw is just so, like, being able to manage par with an opponent in terms of your mana resources and not being a turn behind, I just think is super good. Super valuable. Does that allow you to fire on turn 1 as well?
No, Fire Ice is a 2, like on your turn 1 after you play land.
Yeah. So it allows them to turn 1 or turn 0 gemstone into fire.
He
Or
can't turn
Eggman.
0.
No, he can't exile.
It's 2 minutes.
Oh, it's 2 mana?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Damn. And he's not running bolts.
No.
Dispute.
Yeah, he could turn one to dispute a consider.
A consider. Yeah.
That's it.
Nah. It's not
It's
the
not as good
best.
as you're thinking it is now, is it?
Well, I just like the idea of having 3 mana on turn 2. On my opponent's turn, like you flipped the turn order essentially,
Yeah.
right? So on your opponent's turn 2, you have 3 mana, and you start playing as if you were on the draw or on the play. And I'm like,
Wow. They're going on 8.
another mulligan?
No, they haven't mulliganed.
Oh my goodness, they haven't even mulliganed yet? Oh boy. Going on 8 minutes now.
That was 4 minutes for sideboarding.
And we started this timer when they started, correct?
We started this timer when they started, correct?
Yeah, because our timer isn't with the timer that's out there.
So they're going in with 8 minutes left. I predicted that they would be going in with 4 extra minutes. So this...
Yeah, you were predicting 12. Yeah, this game has really gone the distance. I didn't realize. Quite the showing from both decks. You really get to see like the versatility
both
of the
very
two.
skillful players. Like Kyle top 8'd our modern 5K cash last year, and Randall came 9th on breakers.
Nice.
No, not nice coming 9th on breakers.
Okay,
but,
well, I mean, nice in terms of like placement, not nice as in you were one off.
Yeah.
You know.
But Randall was on burn at that event.
Burn.
Yeah. So this is a really cool deck to see Randall pilot. Cool thing to see.
Well, look, it's like he's like shuffling and he's just like gone Super Saiyan with the shuffle.
You gotta go quick. Turn one monkey.
Yeah, you like it. You love to see it. Love to see it.
Yeah.
All right, so 7 minutes. Basically starting at 7 minutes. It looks like Randall's kind of got that itchiness to him now. You see,
Yeah.
I think he knows, like he's really feeling the pressure of time. Kyle, very chill, very relaxed.
Wow, that's a pretty good hit. That's a hit you do not want to see.
That is a hit.
Randall can't cast it.
No, but seeing it out.
But seeing it's out of the deck, when he only has
at least 4, probably
4, he probably sideboarded in all 4. But to see that get out of the deck that quickly, that's pretty big.
Yep. And now he's ahead on mana as well. Probably gets another Ragavan hit. Wow, we might just watch Ragavan go the distance.
As someone who has gone the distance with a Ragavan, to see it happen, it's good.
All right, into Teferi. Wow. Okay, dispute.
Is it gonna get pierced?
Does he have the pierce?
Fluster. Ooh.
Okay, so Storm is 2. No, 3, sorry.
Force the Teferi.
Okay, force the Teferi. Okay. Very nice.
I
mean, I'm pretty good with that exchange if I'm Randall.
Yeah, Teferi should be in exile, because force of negation.
Yep.
Teferi should be in exile. Yeah, so we just get that fixed up over there. They've got 5 minutes. No. Kyle is 2 health lower. Yeah, we're keeping an eye out. You should be at 15. Kyle got hit by the monkey twice. Yeah, they just adjusted life totals, so I made sure they fixed it. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so we really do get to see the power of Ragavan in this game.
Yeah.
Being on the play, turn 1.
That was a lot of cards spent to fight over that Tef.
Yeah, and if there's another Teferi, oh boy.
Well, I'm not worried about another Teferi. I'm thinking here that we're just going to see a Rhinos.
But he's killing the monkey?
He's going to try and dead gone the monk. which
I mean, you know that your opponent's hellbent if you're doing that over casting your Rhinos, right? So that should get that should say to.
I think Randall just ripped another monkey off the top.
Wow.
So he's able to dash in the monkey. Whether he does or not is a different thing, but
I would.
Yeah, you kind of
But
just
I
have
would
to
do a lot
apply
of
a lot of pressure. I also think I see a bolt in Randall's hand.
Yeah, putting him at 11 down to 8. That's a pretty good spot to be in. That does leave him dead to a few more cards in the graveyard with a breach as well, or just another natural bolt.
Yeah, but there is an endurance in Dobinson's hand.
There's an endurance.
Yeah, but it looks like just a pass.
Okay, that feels bad.
It doesn't feel horrible. I feel like if both players
players passing.
I feel like if both players are just playing a defensive game, Randall's. I don't think Randall needs to play to win. I think in this position, Randall needs to play to not lose.
Yeah.
That is the position Randall is in right now, with where he is on breakers and all that. I think just the way he is playing is making it seem as if he's playing to not lose.
Wow, Rhino's right there. Very, very rare you see the one flip into a Rhino.
Hollowed Moonlight.
Like it.
I love this card.
I like it.
Just draw, no Rhinos, and just a pass. And he rips the EE. So, man.
Okay, he's looking really good. If he can, if he gets to his next turn, secures a position, that's a good chance in 5 turns he's able to win. Like, he can come up with a win.
If I'm Randall, I'm just like, here's my monkey. I'll commit 2 mana to this monkey every turn if I need to. Because if you dash and connect, you're essentially playing the monkey for 1 every turn.
Yep.
That is my thought process and why it's not like a horrible play.
But hey, any form of pressure here. If he can close the game off because he's got 2 minutes, like maybe he gets another turn before turn starts. So if he's able to apply any pressure,
it depends how long he takes on this turn. And
yeah, I think I see another Ragavan.
There definitely is a Ragavan in his hand.
So EE on 0.
Yeah.
Does it get force of negation? Probably. If he has it, you've got to fight over that. Can't really tell what
there's
Kyle's
an endurance in Kyle's hand. That's all I know.
He is out. Just playing the Ragavan, raw dog and Ragavan. Fire.
Icing the island.
Icing the island.
To draw a card. No, that makes sense. Kyle's realizing he has to win, and he's got to do it quickly. Randall floated with the island and considered.
Yep. Yeah, because it looked like Kyle wanted to move his turn. He's like, hey, hold on a sec. All right, now going to his turn. He didn't bin anything, so he liked the card he saw.
This might be the last turn before turns.
Yeah, there's a good chance.
And I think Randall just wants to be turn 1. Ooh, if Randall takes a quick turn, we're gonna see a fetch into an endurance. Which, if I'm Randall, I gotta fight over.
Yeah. Does he have Unholy Heat up? Instant creature. I believe that's another instant.
Yeah, no, he doesn't.
So no. Alright, endurance, targeting, I'm assuming his graveyard, Randall's graveyard. Does he want to fight over it? If he can counter it, yeah, I don't know, does he have anything?
That's time and round.
Alright. What about the time?
Stream room, that's time and round.
So this is turn 0.
Yeah.
And bolting, so he doesn't have to worry about that. Bobble looking at Kyle's top. All right.
This is turn 1. In the upkeep, Randall will draw.
Yeah, it looks like he grabbed that card there that's face down. So that face down card is the card he's drawing. He's just not putting it in his hand. There we go.
He was keeping track of stuff.
Yeah.
Because he bobbled, he wrote down on his life pad what he saw.
I wonder what he saw. Share with us. Share with us, Randall. Let us know. I need to know.
Just a pass from Kyle.
Wow. So no pressure. Yeah, I mean, this is
Just
looking
a
pretty good
pass
for...
back from Randall. If it's a Rhinos, if Kyle can Rhinos and
just an endurance?
Endurance doesn't matter. Kyle has to Rhinos to win. He had to Rhinos that turn to be able to attack you for 8 with trample, to then attack him with 8 again, and even then, it still doesn't kill him.
Yeah. Yeah, Fury doesn't get there either. So he's pretty, like, yeah, like, the earnest is on Kyle. He's got 1 turn. He needs to deploy every Rhino he's got.
He's got to do more than that.
Well, because if he gets...
If he gets 4 Rhinos in play, that's the only chance he can win.
Yeah. So we need to see 4 Rhinos right now. Okay.
Okay, that's...
Okay, well, that's... It's the first step. One of many.
At most, that's 13.
Yep. So there's the Hollowed Moonlight. I'm assuming the Hollowed Moonlight is resolving then? If he is cascading.
Kyle chose not to cast because Randall just insta-flipped it off because it doesn't matter.
Yep. And then if he has another Shardless Agent, what is that? 4, 8.
No,
plus
no,
3,
no.
11.
He passed. He passed. It's
he
Randall's
passed?
turn.
Oh, yeah. No,
he
then
needs
it's
to
over.
have.
Yeah, he just
the best thing he could possibly have is Violent Outburst.
Yeah, and he could literally just say pass here and get there. Shredder. And the monkey. Nope, Darcy.
Yeah, that's game.
Yep.
We're gonna see a draw. And that's gonna lock Randall out at 301.
Yeah, we get the GGs there.
Yeah, we get the not the concession. We get the handshake, and they have drawn. So we're gonna have Kyle Dobinson to go X11. So we might see him on stream again next round to see if he can slip in. And we see Randall go to 301.
So he's locked himself in the top 8 for sure.
There's a high chance. We can't say for sure.
Can't say for sure, but he's very well positioned for the top 8.